So, Jugdeep, you have a fellowship here that's becoming increasingly well known. At the moment, I believe it's predominantly done by people who've come from a geriatric training pathway, but it's been opened up to other people, including anaesthetists.
That's right, Monty. So we've been running that probably for, I think, about 6 years now, and we've gradually built the fellowship up such that we now have 3.5 to 4 posts per year. And it's been interesting in that that's been advertised, like you say, to geriatricians, to anaesthetists, to general medicine physicians as well. But so far, all of our applicants have all been from geriatric medicine.
So if I was a young doctor now, knowing what I now know about the future of medicine, about the baby boomers coming through, how exciting it is. I mean, I chose to do critical care medicine because it allowed me to spread my wings a little bit out from the operating room, which I love being in there, but also that being a bit more of a bedside doctor, etc., etc. I think it'd be a fantastic thing to do, and the first people who get into it are really going to be leaders, world leaders in this. I'm surprised that your inbox isn't full of glowing CVs at the moment.
So we do have glowing CVs, but they tend to be from geriatricians, just before they all get upset. But we don't have that many glowing CVs from anaesthetists or kind of people coming through that kind of stream. And I think maybe that's partly because people don't really understand what geriatric medicine is. And certainly now that we've set up the FY programme, a lot of those junior doctors go, oh, I didn't realise that this is what geriatric medicine is all about. I thought it was all just about rehabilitation and social care. So I think it's a little bit of that we haven't been very good as a specialty at advertising exactly what we do and how exciting it is around delivering general medicine, geriatric medicine, rehab, and all of those things all rolled together into this very interesting post. So I think that's one reason. The other reason is, I think, of course, perioperative medicine has really only started appearing out there as a new exciting specialty over the last 5 years or so. And so I think there's going to be a bit of a time lag to anaesthetists kind of recognising that there are other ways to get the training that they require other than following the traditional anaesthetic training route. I think another reason might be that people are concerned they may not have the skills around management of long-term conditions, knowing how to deal with hypertension, heart failure, Parkinson's disease. They may feel that they can assess those conditions, but they're not equipped to be able to manage those conditions. And that's a challenge to us, isn't it, as to how we start to kind of, broaden that skill set at a more junior level. I think people get put off by doing acute medicine beyond day 2 or day 3 after a surgical procedure. People aren't so excited about managing the geriatric syndromes that occur day 3 onwards, the delirium, the functional decline, that interface of multimorbidity and all of those kinds of issues. So, I think there are probably lots of reasons as to why we've not had as many people from other specialties applying for the posts, but hopefully through these kinds of conversations and the colleges working more closely together, we'll start to see much more cross-specialty training starting to happen in the future.
If we look at the provision of anaesthesia for complex major surgery, if we look at surgical intensive care, if we look at general critical care, adult critical care, it feels as though the majority of our patients are geriatric, and the more complex patients are those with geriatric issues. I sometimes wonder why, and if soon we will have the equivalent of POPs for critical care. That initial day one evaluation of needs and how are we going to get this individual home, etc. So, am I right in thinking most of the patients that we're actually dealing with, even though we may say, I don't want to do acute medicine for geriatric patients, that's what we're doing?
I think you're right. And I think, of course, we need to wake up to the fact that patients, it's certainly in secondary care and, in primary care, the highest users of healthcare are the older population. And we haven't caught up with that on a number of fronts. I think, firstly, undergraduate medicine hasn't caught up with that. Certainly locally, we only provide 3 weeks of geriatric medicine training at an undergraduate level. Now, if 40% of patients in a hospital are going to be older, then people need to understand that population better. So I think we do need to kind of lobby at the undergraduate level that to get a fit for purpose workforce, they need to be trained in geriatric medicine. And when we talk about geriatric medicine, I know we've had this conversation before, it's not about it being an age-based kind of cutoff. It's about it being a biological state. And so, patients with multi-morbidity at the age of 50 are going to be the same as some of our kind of more fit older patients. Not the same, but they're going to have the levels of complexity that we see in the older population as well. I think, we do need to think about undergraduate training. I think what is exciting, certainly on the physician side of things, is that we are changing postgraduate training. So there's been a new system which is coming into place in September, where anybody going into a medical specialty, pretty much any medical specialty, will need to do an extra year of general medicine. And of course that will end up being predominantly older people. So hopefully they'll start to get some generic skills through that kind of training. So yes, you're right. We haven't woken up to the population that we're actually dealing with, and we won't have enough geriatricians to be providing specialist care for all of these patients in all of these different settings. We have POPs in surgery, but increasingly cardiologists are asking for our support. Oncology are asking for it. So, it's an issue across specialties.